with John.
Can you remember when people began to realise a war was coming? Did people believe it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Events on the continent and the refugees that were arriving in England impressed them in such a effect that the amount that was actually coming wouldn't have come unless the situation had been serious, hadn't been serious as it was.
Why do people think we ought to fight?
It was a decision by the government, a pledge given to the nations concerned, and as in the 1418 war, promises had been made to defend certain frontiers, so it was in 1939 when the events that did take place, that the decision by the government of the day was that the people of Britain were at war. It was a decision, remember, a decision taken by Parliament. Whether it was agreed by the people, well, events proved that Parliament was right, because Germany had been prepared for this sort of invasion for years, and if they hadn't been stopped where they were, we could have been an enslaved nation like France, Belgium, and Holland.
Did you want to fight for England?
Once again, I would say I was of military age and I was called up by the government. Once I was there with people of my own age, it was a kind of patriotism, as well as knowing the facts that we'd never been a conquered race for nearly 1,000 years, and we didn't want to be a conquered race now, then.
Did you thought of killing someone frighten you? Did the thought of killing someone frighten you?
No, you obeyed orders, and if you held a position and the orders were to fire on encounter with the enemy, you just fired. You followed orders and instinct. If you didn't kill him, he killed you.
Do you have happy or horrible memories of the war years?
Oh, I travelled in 1939 over to France, and I was in the Belgian border when the Germans broke through the Maginot Line, and they passed through France. They reached Paris on May the 12th. I was still in France on June the 16th when I came out of Saint Nazaire in a fishing boat, which we nicked.
Did you hate your enemies? And if yes, why?
Well, it was a case of kill or be killed. There was no hate. It was instantly. If you didn't kill him, he'd kill you.
Were you often frightened, like cold and uncomfortable?
Yes, but the companionship of the rest of your mates you treat it as a bit of a joke, and you coarsely express your feelings and opinions in rather coarse remarks. Like, if it was cold, you say, ooh, he's feeding, what's the name of a brass monkey. But being soldiers, we were much coarser, you know what I mean, and we expressed them in a very, very rude way. But in addition to the cold, when I came out of France, we rearmed and went over to Egypt, and we were in 5 campaigns until Montgomery went straight through to Tunis. We came back from Tunis to Tripoli, reformed for the invasion of Sicily in Italy. We landed at Taranto with the New Zealand division, and then from there, after Cassino, we went over the Dolomites to the 5th Army, where Salerno, and from there we went up to the 5th American Army around the Volturno, and in March, it was either January or March, that we were in the area of Tripoli, and Vesuvius erupted, and it was more hotter then than it had ever been anywhere else, because it was Vesuvius, the volcano.
Well, that corresponds with did you fight? Where did you fight? Doesn't it?
Yes, that corresponds with northern Italy.
Can you remember any songs from then? Not rude ones.
Songs?
Yes, and not rude ones.
Not rude ones?
No. Don't sound plenty, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. We used to sing a song called Miles, Miles Behind the Line. Our Sergeant Major's never seen the gun. He got the DCM for things he'd never done. And when the Germans come along, we see the old bastard run. That was a rude song.
Yes, of course.
Did you hate the Germans?
The Nazis, yes.
What was it like in the Blitz on your own?
It was very frightening to see London burn.
Did you ever go down the shelters for them?
No.
What was food like? Was rationing awful?
Well, there was a little of everything, but no fruit from overseas, and we grew as much as possible. Rationing wasn't too bad.
Can you remember any songs?
Well, there's the White Cliffs of Dover, Run Rabbit Run, Roll Out the Barrel, and there are a lot more.
Thank you.